Katrina, I was hoping you could just get us started by introducing yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing that here at Home Sweet Home.
Sure. Yes, my name is Katrina Bassett. I started working at Home Sweet Home in June of 2018, and I started off at the front desk, and now I am a case manager, and I've been here for about 2.5 years.
Great. Yeah, so you've gotten to be a part of pretty much the big parts of client services through those different roles.
Right, yeah.
Well, you know, as I've said to you off camera and as I've said to everybody watching, we're talking about trauma and the importance of being trauma informed. And so what the two of us are going to spend a couple minutes talking about is one of the first things that we pay attention to when we think from a trauma informed perspective. And that's prioritizing safety. And when we talk about safety, we obviously mean physical safety and emotional safety. So I was hoping that you had a story that you might be able to tell about a client for whom paying attention to safety was really, really important in your work with them.
Well, a lot of the physical safety ends up falling onto the RA. But as far as like also with physical safety, case management needs to be sure that they're communicating beforehand what is expected. And so if there's alarms going off, that is described. And so any of the clients would be able to respond appropriately to the emergency that is happening instead of reacting more strongly to it.
And by alarm, you mean like
a fire alarm, or if there's a tornado siren going off.
So helping them understand from a safety standpoint on the front end before those things go off.
Yes.
Is what you're talking
yes, we want to prepare
them. Do you have
them.
anybody specific in mind that you think of when you think of, oh, safety was really important for this person?
Well, a lot of them, the safety was important as far as it not going well. I have an example. We had a client, she ended up having her earbuds in her ears and the fire alarm went off and we were really concerned. We did not know where she was. So that was the biggest thing. Like after having that conversation, like explaining the safety part, like not covering your ears before you go to sleep, that you would be able to hear if there's any fire alarm or any other warning.
So you followed up with her to explain this sort of stuff, and how did that go?
It went really well, as far as, because it kind of ties into the emotional safety of like, you know, having a relationship with her. I was able to explain like, we do care about you, we want you to be safe. So it wasn't just a punitive conversation where it was, you know, it was really good. She understood. So
yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad that you included that emotional safety and that talk about it in the context of a relationship between you and her. One of the things that we like to emphasize when we talk about being trauma informed is looking at things through our trauma glasses or through a lens that filters everything to understand trauma is a factor here. Using this same woman who had the earbuds in and you had to follow up with, what do you think, how do you think it would have gone if you hadn't been paying attention to emotional safety in that follow-up? How do you think that would have unfolded?
I think that would have definitely hurt our the relationship. I think she wouldn't have been as open to me as a case manager because she was on my caseload. And she probably would have left and not really have felt cared for at all. And that would have been another wound into what she's been already struggling with.
Yeah, which is obviously the opposite of what we're shooting
for. Yes.
And I think this is a good example because it really emphasizes even something as basic, if you will, of, hey, this is what we need to be sure that we're aware of during fire alarms or a tornado siren or something like that. An interaction about something as basic as that can really be influential and significant in the trajectory of our work with the client. And so I think that's a really good example of this. Do you have any other thoughts or any other things that you want to share with us about prioritizing safety in our work with our clients?
A lot of it So beyond physical safety, there's also the emotional safety that we really need to consider for the residents. I have one story of a client who really needed to get back on some medications that they really need to be on, and that can really really be a struggle for your brain to get used to that again.
Sure.
And so one of the things that we have at Home Sweet Home is that we have different rooms that could be offered, like a medical bed or anything like that. And typically it's usually used for somebody who really needs like like a surgery or something like that. But as far as like being more trauma informed of that situation, it was really good for them to be offered that room for that period of time to get used to their medications again, and then they would feel safe in the dorms again to be around other people.
Yeah, so kind of providing that sense of calm or quiet to get their things adjusted. Yeah. Great. Well, great. I appreciate you spending a couple minutes talking with us about this, about the importance of safety when it comes to being trauma-informed. And I just thank you for your work with the clients that we do.
Sure.
That you do. It makes a big difference in their lives, I know.
Thank you.